to the Connection podcast. I am Lauren Dry, also known as the Connection Catalyst. Connection and this podcast for me is personal. As a driven professional, I found myself an expert in all things work and business. But it was at home that I really needed clarity and ease. After finally finding it one marriage breakdown and one marriage reset later, and finally discovering what really works to have connection in modern relationships, using science, simplicity, and soul, our signature program, Rise into Regulation, was born. That's giving so many others in modern, driven relationships back clarity and ease for good. On the podcast today, we're going to dive deep together on all things relationships, business, identity, and leadership. And clarity and ease is at the heart of it all, and we are so happy to be with you so that you can have what you need in connection, mind, body, and soul too. Let's talk about a question that is probably the toughest one when you feel like everything's falling apart. That question is, can the love come back? I did a Q&A session on my Instagram stories the other day, and I feel so privileged, honored, blessed, and really privileged to sit and connect with you in that space when I have the opportunity to hang out in those Q&A sessions. And this time around, there were a huge, overwhelming number of questions relating to infidelity. Is it possible to recover from infidelity? What if I have been the person who initiated infidelity? Is it possible for the other person to ever forgive me? And there were also some questions about toxic cycles of communication that have lasted for 20 years and the person just not caring anymore and switching off, even though the other person has started to make some changes. And the question underneath all of that is, can the love come back? Can the trust come back? Can the connection come back? Is that possible? Are some breaches just too big or have been going on for far too long? I'm going to start off by answering this question in the most simple and the most complex way. To answer the question, can the love come back? Absolutely. Love is an experience. We see love as a chemical reaction. We see love as a series of active choices. But love is an experience that comes in combination with evidence of matched values or respected and honored values. And also, of course, that added element of chemistry. Out of all of those elements, though, chemistry is the most fickle, particularly if you're going to be in a relationship with someone for an extended period of time, any extended period of time. If you want to be with someone for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, the only thing I can guarantee you is expect to lose that person. And I don't mean by breaking up and getting divorced. I mean, you shouldn't want to be in a relationship with someone as a 40-year-old with the same capabilities, capacities, and qualities as a 17-year-old, if that's when you met them. But what that means is, in order to grow and develop, we have to sit in discomfort and we have to have a really challenging and uncomfortable relationship with growth. I'd love to say that all growth happens in softness and ease and real simple and fun, playful environments. But the fact of the matter is, if you're going to know someone for decades, they are going to experience 100 different deaths of one personality so that they can grow into another. And there are going to be seasons where those personalities do not align, whether that's on a small level or a large level. And there are going to be the decisions that they make that are in conflict with either what you perceive to be alignment with your values or really true breaks. For example, infidelity, or, some of the biggest ruptures I've seen in couples have related to how they each individually manage their finances. Finance and conversations about money will split apart more marriages than ruptures over infidelity. I know that's shocking, but the statistics absolutely reflect that. So, can the love come back if these kinds of ruptures happen? First of all, we have to understand that love in relationship to chemistry is fickle, okay? It will flux and change. So if you are in a season where you just don't care and the love is not there, but perhaps you are still exploring whether you should get divorced or whether you're separated in the same house, or whether the other person is showing the initiative that they really need to be showing in order to have a long, lasting, connective, supportive relationship? The first place I would start is self-compassion around maybe the feeling not being there. And I'll tell you right now, the most valuable stage that ever happened in my marriage was what I refer to with my clients as the relationship death stage. The relationship death stage doesn't even necessarily mean you need to be living in separate houses. It doesn't even necessarily mean that one person needs to explicitly say, I'm done, I'm leaving, although that often is the catalyst. What it means is one person is willing to be brave enough to let go of a sense of control over the person that they thought that they knew. So moving from you did this or you were supposed to do this and XYZ happened into, hey, I need to pause and go back and examine my relationship with myself. Do I know my own values? Am I really nourishing them? Do I know my own hidden patterns? Do I have a skill set that allows me to work with my hidden patterns without them mastering me and ruling me and meaning that I end up in this toxic cycle again, either with you, my current partner, or with anyone else in the future? Without that level of awareness, we're stumbling around in the dark and events happen to us as opposed to us being an active participant in whether there is control over the outcome or not. Seeing in this Q&A session how many questions related to infidelity, it came to me that it's a really important point to pause on around whether the love can come back. Grief is required, first of all. Can I let go of the person I thought I knew and the person I thought I was certain of? Can I take my hands off the wheel and stop feeling like I need to be controlling the outcome here? And instead focus on, am I cultivating within myself a strong relationship with possibility, a strong personal relationship with self-accountability? Am I showing up as a match to the values that I really want? If I want to receive compassion, am I able to be compassionate without being a doormat? Do I even know what that looks like? I value connection, or let's say a level 2 lifestyle value. So within Rise, we have the Connected Boundaries Bible, which relates to a certain levels of boundaries. And level 2 is lifestyle. So lifestyle, if I value, not being in a social environment where there's much alcohol, how much alcohol am I drinking? If I expect that from my partner, am I holding my own self accountable? So I know how difficult it can be if that's a challenge for me. And I can confidently and quietly say, I have compassion how this is difficult for you, but this is what's worked for me. And I know it's possible. And I invite you to join me and we can discuss that together as partners, as opposed to you are doing XYZ. Also, is there curiosity and capacity to sit in the discomfort, whether you stay together or not? Because asking the question, can the love come back, is not a question that we want to answer after we've made a decision, a reactive decision based on our nervous system. This is all too much. I want to fight. I want to flight, fawn, freeze. Those are the nervous system states. Flight is, this is all too uncomfortable. I can't handle it. I need to get out, 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 and right now. And for some people, that's absolutely a responsible choice. But if the house is not literally on fire, it's a beautiful learning opportunity to nourish yourself and ground into yourself and learn what regulation looks and feels like, so that if and when you need to make a decision of, hey, look, the love's not going to come back, or maybe even if it is, I've recognized that our values are completely misaligned, and I can observe really confidently that the patterns, the micro and macro patterns around whether my partner is able to consistently show up in alignment with the values that I need and can meet me there regularly, whether it's about how many drinks at night or whether I need to worry about him with someone of the opposite sex or her. What about my own self? If I have, a lot of shame or guilt about a decision I've made around infidelity, do I know and can I sit in the discomfort of confidence around, hey, I know where these patterns have come from and why it led to that. And I can confidently not dissociate or people please to the extent where I find myself in a situation that is outside of my values. All of these questions and the answers to these questions happen when we are willing to sit in healthy discomfort. And then if we do feel like the love is gone or the values just don't match anymore, then we can make grounded decisions that allow us to move forward with a lot of confidence, compassion, security, not only for ourselves, but our partner, our children. And we know how to navigate the ongoing complexities that do come with separation as well, as opposed to just feeling like we're running away and escaping. And from that place of surrender, can the love come back? Absolutely. Not only have I seen miracles happen, and I try to post as many testimonials as I can, but my marriage is a miracle in and of itself. We met so young. I think we were both 21 at the time. And it's tough to go through all of those seasons. particularly after you throw in kids and businesses and an entire life of complications and traumas, individual and together, and an entire history. And I always say that our marriage is the greatest miracle of my life. From that place of surrender, I was ready to accept that perhaps we weren't compatible. But from that place of surrender, I was able to get out of my own way, get out of his way. And that's where friendship began to form again. And friendship is based on trust. Can I trust you? But can I trust my own self? You know, a lot of reactivity comes from lack of certainty or security around our own values and whether we can hold true for them and make space for other people in a really beautiful way. So can the love come back? Absolutely, without a doubt. But the question I think is more important is, do you have the capacity to have a relationship with healthy discomfort, to figure that out and seek supportive strategies that allow you to break all of the small and big patterns that may have led to this rupture in the first place, whether you were aware of it or not. And that's true freedom. And that's really exciting, even if it's been really hard up until now. I just want to share with you, if you take nothing else away from this episode, that season can absolutely be a gift. And we can use it as a gift. One of my favorite phrases is to remember that in winter, the trees molt their leaves so that when the snow comes, the branches aren't broken off. So when we try to cling on to our leaves or the things that aren't working for us anymore, it can literally break us. But if we let go of the things that aren't for us in this season and just withdraw our nutrients and focus on nourishing our trunk and putting our roots down deeper, then when spring comes, oh, what a celebration. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If it's brought up anything in particular that, you want to chat to someone about or you want to go a bit deeper on, I would love to chat to you. Come and hang out on Instagram, Lauren_Dry. I would be blessed to spend the time. And I hope you continue to enjoy the next episodes on the Connection podcast. Make sure to subscribe and follow along, and I will see you soon. Big love.